NashvilleSymphony.org.
The Biltmore Kiwanis Classic races are back. Sunday, May 19th. It's a 15K and a 5K at the beautiful Biltmore Estate. Participants will enjoy a beautiful run on the grounds of the estate, plus a race t-shirt, finisher medal, entry to the estate for the morning, commemorative race bib, and a whole lot of fun. All proceeds of the race benefit the Kiwanis Club of Asheville. For more information and to get signed up, go to BiltmoreKiwanisClassic.com. BiltmoreKiwanisClassic.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, WIN. That's WIN. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raided. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingles studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Today is the last day before vacation for our very own ESPN draft nerd, Jeremy Greene.
Vacation's all I ever wanted. Vacation, gotta get away. I have been running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Doing that thing that you always do, right? When we got to put our lives on hold for a little bit, our business lives on hold, we all got to, do the double, triple, quadruple duty before you take off. It's no different. No different here. And
and then you have this. Well, you have this day that was already jam packed with our release of our Living the Dream schedule in full. You have AFC win-loss records that Tank and I have poured over, and then the Louisville Police Department went, but wait, we're gonna do some stuff.
The world's number one golfer, Scottie Scheffler, got arrested this morning trying to get into the PGA Championship. Now, first off, we have to say that thoughts and prayers to the family of the victim of this morning's car crash involving a pedestrian at the front gates of Valhalla Golf Club in Louisville. Apparently, one of the trams or something hit a pedestrian, and that person lost their life. But in the madness of all of that, the traffic was going nowhere because here we are now in the middle of a death investigation. The traffic was so bad that at one point there was I saw a tweet or something. I think it was Rory and Colin were walking down the road like a mile away from the entrance to try to get to the place. So it set things back this morning. But in all of that melee and confusion, there were mixed signals somewhere. Scottie Scheffler says he was told to go around the barricades or the cops that were standing there doing the investigation. Apparently the cop that was there doing the investigation did not get that, so he jumped on his car as Scottie was trying to go around, and then the word from Jeff Darlington, who was in the car right behind Scottie Scheffler,
which is probably the weirdest part of this.
Drove. Why is that?
Well, the fact that Jeff Darlington, who's an NFL reporter usually, is sitting here filming Scottie Scheffler in handcuffs, and he looks at him and goes, "Please help me."
Yeah. So, as Jeff Darlington told it, as Scottie's car's going by, the cop, quote, attaches himself to the car, and Scottie drives for another 10 feet, then stops, Then they get him out of the car. He slams him against the car, puts the cuffs on him. They take him downtown, and at one point, one of the cops turns to Jeff Darlington and says, "Who did we just arrest?" This is bad for the Louisville Police Department.
Well, it's even worse when you find out
And
what
I feel
I'm
like
getting ready to tell you.
There's an officer going to be riding a desk here.
Well, it gets worse when you find out what I'm getting ready to tell you, which is, Tank, you and I have done, I don't know, 100 events together. That sound about right? Over the time we've done this? What does every event look like when you're driving into it? When there are thousands upon thousands of people trying to get in. I get this was early. I get it. The tee-off was early. You have cars backed up for miles sometimes. Well, we, as members of the media, and obviously much more important than us are the actual athletes that are playing in it. What do they tell you every single time you go to one of these events? When you come up on traffic, go around it, because there will be an entrance for you when you get up there. They didn't tell Scottie Scheffler, hey, somebody got hit up here. He didn't know that. He sees cop cars. He's used to cop cars. There's cop cars at every single one of these. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I almost had something exactly like this happen at a death scene on Mills Gap like 15 years ago. Because the cop has his little flashlight and he's waving the flashlight going, go this way, you can go this way. I don't know what that means. You've got a stupid flashlight. You do understand, I don't know where you're starting and where you're finishing. You get that, right?
Right.
Okay, I can't read your mind there, Deputy Doolittle. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Use your suck hole and tell me mouth words.
Yeah, that can be quite frustrating. I don't know. I wasn't there. Jeff Darlington was there, though, and pretty much feels like they should have known what they were doing. So if I tell you to go around, that's really nothing different, is what you're saying, Jeremy, from what we're used to. People who have all access, you're used to having to go around barriers and go around cop cars and go around people directing traffic.
I'm probably, at least for events, I'm probably slightly more sensitive to this than you are, because you've been doing this forever. They know who you are, especially when we do events here. I went through several years where nobody knew who I was. I wasn't technically an employee, so I didn't have one of those cute little badges like y'all have to go, hey, this is who I am. I had to go, hey, you ever heard of that idiot on the radio that makes funny voices? I'm him.
Well, it's clear that the officers had no idea who Scottie Scheffler was. Nor did they care. And I'm not a cop. And I haven't been through training, so I don't know if they should have cared at that point. But I can tell you that the public cares.
No
and
doubt.
The narrative here is tough to handle for the Louisville PD. That's all I can say.
Well, because I would wager a lot of us have been in situations where you were in traffic. And I'm going to take this away from what we're talking about here. 99.9% of people listening to my voice right now have never been in that situation. Scottie's been doing it for years. Take that away. How many times have you been sitting in traffic and you get the flashlight, or you get the hand wave, or you get the whistle, or you get the white glove? I'm going all around the country here. I don't care where you are. We've all done it. And you got a confusing message from somebody directing traffic, and you went the wrong way, and you get whistled at, or you get whatever the case may be. This dude threw himself on Scottie Scheffler's car and then pulled him out of a car, threw him up against it, and put him in handcuffs. This is a bad look. And Valhalla, the city of Louisville, all of you, there better be a conference call today, and there better be an apology unless there's something that you're not telling me. And since this happened 7 hours ago, I'm going to say there's probably not.
Yeah. I haven't seen an official response from the Louisville PD. I'm curious if there is one. Because what can the response be other than, oh, we screwed up, or I don't care who you are, you can't drive through you can't drive through an accident scene.
Was there a sign somewhere that said it was an accident scene? Because I can tell the cop cars at the beginning of, there's cops standing there anyway. It's an event entryway. How many times have you and I seen this? And the report on Twitter is the 2 cop cars at the beginning of this were unmarked. You can't do this way. This is one of those things that anybody listening to the sound of my voice could have done exactly the same thing Scottie Scheffler did. From all of the information you have told me up until this point.
They have charged him with second-degree assault on a police officer.
Which is ludicrous.
Carrying the cop 10 feet on the top of the car, apparently, or the side of the car, or however that went down. Third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals from an officer directing traffic. Those are the official charges by the Louisville PD against Scottie Scheffler, who, as far as we know, and from everything he has said so far about this, I mean, the guy had to, he went through all of this and then immediately got released, came back, and he's getting ready to tee off in 2 hours, I think. They moved his tee time to 2:38, I think it is. So he's dealing with all of this, and his first words were, it was a misunderstanding. He told me to go one way, or he told me not to go, and I thought he said go, and so I went. And then when I went, he jumped on the car, tried to reach through the window to grab me. Then I stopped, and then he pulled me out and arrested me.
Okay, I just in theory, just think of how you just said that. Is there any reason, if the window is down, that you would jump on the car and try to reach into it? I'm not a cop. I'm asking a question. But just to me, that sounds absolutely insane.
I mean, the only thing I could think he was thinking was, I have to stop this car to preserve evidence. It's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know how close they were on the scene. If he's driving right past the deceased in this pedestrian thing, I don't know. But that's the only thing I could think of was that would be a rational reason for the cop to act this way, and that assumes that this was a rational action at 5 a.m. in the middle of a murder scene. Not a murder scene, but a death scene.
I thought about what you just said. And so now I'm going to ask you the follow-up to that. So if you were so worried about preserving evidence, how the hell did Jeff Darlington get in between 2 fire trucks to record you putting him in the car? Obviously, I'm just, I'm throwing this out there. You're not working that hard to preserve your scene, because Jeff Darlington got out of his car and sauntered over, and you allowed him to shoot it with a cell phone.
That's a great point. I hadn't even thought of it in that sense.
That was the first thing I thought.
Jeff Darlington just came in afterward and was like, hey, what's happening? Because he's got the video of he followed them through the parking lot as they walk him to the cruiser to put him in it to take him to the police department. And at one point, one of the cops turns around and says, look, there's nothing you can do. He's going to jail. Like, we've already gone down this path. It's too far. Now we're in it. And I feel like everyone connected with the city and with the police department has to be thinking, dear God. Oh, dear God, we have to put up with this.
Look, there's no 2 people on the planet that are more pro-cop than Tank and myself. They don't exist. This is a horrible look. And I'll be honest with you, the fact you let Jeff Darlington walk through your scene is roughly 40% of it. Because if you wanted to sell me of that he got right up on where the incident happened, okay, I still don't understand why you're jumping on a car. I don't understand why you can't just communicate this with words, because I can literally in my head see exactly how this went. None of that makes sense, but I give you a pass on that. I do not understand how you let a media reporter with his cell phone, no camera crew, probably an ESPN credential or a gate code credential for Valhalla, and that was enough to let him traipse through your crime scene. You're being maddeningly inconsistent here. And then the fact you asked, who did we just arrest? That's a bad look, too. If you don't care, fine. If everybody's the same and I don't care what your excuse is, fine. Why'd you ask me who that was?
Well, because I got to know why you're following me with the camera. Like, there's a reason. I get that part.
I don't.
And especially, I don't. He didn't say that it was one of the arresting officers that said it, and it wasn't caught on video. So I'm guessing it was someone after the fact. So maybe it was just some guy who said, I don't know who that was. Who did we just take over there? I didn't see it. Or I don't know what it was. But it makes it look worse.
There are two paths here.
I told you before the program, I really don't know that I would know Scottie Scheffler if I saw him out in public, especially if I saw him at 5 a.m. during all of this craziness. But at some point, does it not click in, like, at the scene, oh, wait, this is a mistake? Because from the video, he wasn't being standoffish, right?
No.
He wasn't fighting. He wasn't pulling away. He wasn't arguing. They were just taking him downtown. And at some point on the scene, I would think that would come into play of, oh, okay, we're okay. You weren't trying to, everything's fine. But it was just such a quick reaction because this happened at 5 a.m., or I think the fatality happened at 5 a.m. All of this took place before like 6:15 this morning, where they're sitting in traffic. Scottie goes through, gets the green light to go through the traffic barrier, because from what I understand, they had been sitting there for a while. So that's why I say I don't know that you wouldn't know. I mean, if you're sitting at the front of the line, and by that point, somebody on the road's got to know something. I don't know. Who knows? But either way, it was presented by Jeff Darlington that at some point the call came in, you guys can go. And that's when all of this sparked off. And in just a few nanoseconds, it felt like the arrest had happened. He was already downtown. Then he was booked. The mugshot came out. He was released. He's back there at Valhalla now, getting ready to tee off in about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
There are two things that can happen, and they better happen by the end of the day, or this is going to get real ugly real fast. Either you better give me some form of information, and by me, I mean the general public, the media, whoever you want to consider that to be. You better give me something of this is why this went to such a different level, or you better fall on this sword and say every one of these charges has been erased. We apologize to Mr. Scheffler for how this went. That's how this has to go.
Yes.
Because this is a terrible look.
It is a terrible look, and I imagine that statement will be coming at some point. If not from Louisville PD, it'll come from the DA who's about to be, up for election.
Yeah, the DA's job just got much harder.
It's an election year, right? And I don't think so. I don't think it did at all. I think the DA can step back and go, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't think we need to prosecute this guy.
Well, there's that, but you're also going to get a percentage of the public that goes, well, if that was me, they would have prosecuted me. This is one of those times that I go, man, I'm glad I'm not a politician, because you could do the right thing and it'd still be the wrong thing, and you could do the wrong thing and it'd still be the wrong thing.
Yeah. You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Bonus bucks.
You're clear.
And now back to regularly scheduled programming.
Win $1,000 in bonus bucks starts right here. Keep listening for the keywords to enter at our website.
Brought to you by Discount Shoes.
Step into savings at Discount Shoes in Brevard Road. Find your favorite brands for the whole family at unbeatable prices. From sporty sneakers to chic sandals, we've got it all. Hurry in and walk out with a deal that'll have you stepping in style. Discount Shoes, 1255 Brevard Road, Asheville.
Join the Asheville Symphony Saturday, May 18th for their Masterwork Series finale, Titan. Hear one of the great pianists of her generation, Olga Kern, play Tchaikovsky's First Piano Concerto, plus Mahler's iconic First Symphony, Titan. 2 p.m. on Saturday, May 18th at Brevard Music Center's Whittington Full Auditorium. Tickets at 828-254-7046 or AshevilleSymphony.org. That's AshevilleSymphony.org.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop.
Tank, I have a question for you.
While on Eliquis increases
yes, sir.
which may cause paralysis.
I'm going to give you an either or.
Get medical help right away for unexpected
really
bleeding,
good chicken salad sandwich.
Tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness.
Over the pants
Medications
HJ.
such as aspirin products, NSAIDs,
You can only have one.
SNRIs,
Which one are you
and blood thinners
taking?
may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all
Chicken Sammy.
Learn more at Eliquis.com.
I agree, and I'm not even sure it's all that close.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people?
Oh, that's Chloe and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie.
Don't they do that in the studio?
Normally.
I don't know. It depends on how big her hands are.
Being saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out.
My size.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Out.
Other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing.
And she moisturizes less than I do.
Look like it's coming off the. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC.
And she's got the grip strength of a NASCAR tire changer.
And they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
All right, we're getting funky with it today on the Sportsocracy, apparently. Here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM. 880 AM and 1400.
I had a moment there like, is this bumper music? Or because that's a new one.
That is a new one. That is a new one. That's one of those basketball beds that got thrown into the button bar here.
I was about to say, I told you we needed to change those. I didn't necessarily mean today.
We didn't even talk about this switch.
Is that how you feel every day when I do something unilaterally and just go, I don't know how to react now? Is this a commercial that just has no words? Maybe we took a visual ad and made it auditory. Sure. What button do I push now? I don't know.
What has happened? Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is a Friday, and it's a Friday before a vacation week. Jeremy will be on vacation next week. I will be here in the Ingles studio Tuesday and Wednesday of next week with News 13 sports director Chris Womack. We're going old school. We're just going radio style next week, so check us out on the terrestrial signal or on the iHeartRadio app.
I could have made that work, but I will not be here to help because if you call me, I'm gonna conservatively say after 5 o'clock today. I really in my head mean it about 3:01. You will either get no answer response at all, or you will get an incredibly vulgar first line.
Yeah. I'm not going to call you at all. It's like that's like bro code, right? You don't call your coworkers when they're on vacation if you can help it at all. So
especially when they're on a year overdue honeymoon, because we got married 1 year ago on Monday.
Yes.
So.
And a happy anniversary to you.
She put up with me for a whole year. Third marriage, first time I made it to a year. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes. That is progress, ladies and gentlemen.
Had to look up. Had to look up what.
He also told me today that he's graduated from the Fireball to big boy liquor. So that's good.
I have started drinking tequila. And I mean, don't get me wrong. You still get the FB. Especially if she's here for a long time, not a good time. Let's go.
So anyway, we had to open up the show here with the Scottie Scheffler business, as that was just one of the weirdest possible headlines you never would have expected. I definitely did not have that on my May 17th bingo card, that the world's number one golfer would be arrested before getting in to compete in the PGA Championship.
When I saw the tweet originally, I thought it was Adam Schefter, not Scottie Scheffler, and I went, excuse me?
Well, I had to check when I saw it, obviously, which I hope we all do, checking to make sure that it doesn't come from like FESPN or
CTESPN.
Yeah, that's the one. Making sure that it didn't come from Jeff Barlington
or Antonio Brown.
Right, exactly. But we're still reacting to the NFL schedule. Schedule came out on Wednesday. Yesterday we talked about all the NFC teams. Today it's AFC's turn. We'll start with the AFC South because that's where Ches asked us to begin today's program. I hope the Scottie Scheffler thing didn't push him off too much where he's not going to be with us here as we get into the AFC South. Ches is a Titans fan, is he not?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
I want to say that's right. If I got it wrong, I apologize. I'm terrible with names, first off, so trying to remember who belongs to what team really is a bridge too far for me. Like Bo yesterday, I was not, yes, I remembered after I thought about it, Bo, that you're a Cowboys fan, but you asked the question about your Cowboys while we were talking about the Panthers, so that's how I got that confused.
Oh, he's a Texans fan. That works way better.
He's a Texans fan. All right, that works way better because I didn't want to piss you off today. Because I think maybe we should start with the Tennessee Titans and get this out of the way, just in case before Eddie Fox gets in his truck. I don't want him to hear what I have to say.
No, I vote we start with
football team,
and I always start with the Houston Texans, and there's a very specific reason for that.
Okay.
They're my 1 seed in the AFC.
Overall, number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed overall. I have them going 12-5.
That is a lot of faith.
You care to tell me what I'm supposed to not have faith in?
No, I can't. I can't give you a reason why we should doubt it. I just feel like we should doubt it. I mean, this is a fine team to go. They're very talented. They're still very young, though. We haven't. I don't know. Just we've only seen a year of this, so let's see how they get through this year. I think going number 1 seed at what were they 13-4,
12-5.
12-5 to be the number. I guess that's not too bad.
They were tied with Kansas City and Cincinnati, and they had the tiebreaker.
Okay. I'm a little iffy. I'm a little iffy on the whether or not they're ready for prime time. They can win games. I know they're talented. I know they've filled all the holes, and I believe in their coaching.
What about the fact their schedule is absolutely awful? That do anything for you?
It's not awful.
How many times do they play good teams back to back? Look through the whole schedule. It happens exactly one time.
When
now the end of the schedule is ugly.
Detroit.
Up until week 14, they play back-to-back good teams exactly one time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, then it ends with Miami, at Kansas City, Baltimore, before one with the Titans.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I have them losing 2 of those 3 at the end of the year. They had 3 losses coming into that. This team's really good. Really good offensively. The defense just got drastically better with the addition of Danielle Hunter.
I went through and picked their games, and I think they're solidly 10 to 12 win team. There's no doubt in my mind they are going to be somewhere in that realm. I don't know that I'm ready to commit to more than that, because I feel like they do have that one stretch that you were talking about where they have they only have one good back-to-back. Okay, yeah, that's true, but that stretch is going to be kind of tough because they got to go to the Packers. That's the Week 7 game. They got to go to the Packers, and they get the Colts. Division game. Could be tough. Then on the road at the Jets. Then the Lions at home. Then you got to go on the road to the Cowboys. I know we don't believe that the Cowboys are great, but that's still going to be a high-charge game. That's going to be a high-profile game.
Oh.
Level of the roster. I just don't know if they're number 1 overall seed in the AFC good.
Jeremy hit the wrong button there.
Oh,
sorry about that.
There he is.
That was my fault. You know, when you run through an internet server, you can't close the internet server. And I hit the wrong button and went, oh boy, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're glad you're rejoining us here. But Houston is very good. I just don't know if they're number 1 seed territory. I don't know if we're doing the same thing that we did with Jacksonville, or you did with Jacksonville last year.
Jacksonville never showed us they were as good as Houston did last year. Fact or fiction?
Facts. Fact. Absolute fact.
Jacksonville never looked like they had a top 5 quarterback in the NFL at any point ever.
No.
We never felt like Jacksonville had a top 5 quarterback or head coach in the NFL. None of the things I just said have ever happened. We projected a lot with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was still a team that was down 28 to 3, I think, going into halftime against the Chargers in the playoffs. Go back to what the Texans did in the playoffs. Little different. It's a little different.
It is a little different.
Houston to me is, I'm not telling you that I think talent for talent, Houston's better than Kansas City. I will also tell you Kansas City's schedule is absolutely evil. And the Cincinnati Bengals are in an evil division. The Texans have neither one of those problems.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We continue the rest of the schedule breakdown for the AFC South after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather.
We're clear.
Thank you. Yeah, I moved the wheel too quick and hit the kill button on my mouse, and all of my internet tabs went away, and I went,
oh, no. Yikes. Oopsie poopsie.
So pack along the rain gear and some patience if you are going to be out. 60 degrees. Saturday, scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, more likely.
Did you get my audio back up?
Yeah.
Kick on through.
You were down about 30
Sunday,
seconds.
More showers, maybe a thunderstorm.
Oh, okay.
I
could see your mouth moving, but I couldn't.
This report is sponsored.
And I even thought about just trying to time it to where I could jump in and nobody knows.
Fires or storm is a homeowner.
But I didn't actually know what you had just said.
On your side, and that's exactly what you get with First Restoration Services. They've built their business off trust, integrity, speed, and quality. Learn more online at frs247.com.
Woody and Wilcox. That's my favorite thing about bowling alleys is the little blow.
All good. All right. Do we want to go Jacksonville, Indianapolis, end with Tennessee?
Yes.
Okay.
5.1, Asheville's Real Rock.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, Chief Marketing Officer of Hyundai Motor America, talks about audio storytelling.
Brand, a lot of people scratch their heads and say, why would you put your brand on a channel that doesn't show the sheet metal? But there's a lot we can talk about these vehicles that gets people excited about the car. And it's more than just the sheet metal. It really is about lifestyle in a lot of ways. For us, it's about storytelling. That's driving a lot of brand awareness, but we can also drive a lot of intent. And that's because we can talk a lot about the features. I think we're learning that we can get a lot more from audio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all.
Man, I really hate this playoff predictor website.
Live conversations, trusted influence.
Like times out and then just loses everything you just did.
Company. iHeartMedia
it's pretty brutal.
Access company. If you're a marketer,
it is terrible.
That's
great idea. Horrible execution.
Summer savings start now at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select
I do love
major
how
appliances
I screwed up
from
and you
brands
got
like
blamed for it.
KitchenAid.
That's
Offer
funny.
through 6/5. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com.
When it comes to a tech thing, they automatically think it's my fault.
Friday Night Rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the...
I mean, I don't know why they would.
Or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can custom...
You want to keep playing trap music? We can.
You need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving.
I mean, we do have to
right
change
here
the
in
bumpers,
Asheville.
but I figured we were going to do it
Free
after.
Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom.
Yeah, we won't be switching to rap bumpers.
The mountains, you
Are
need
you
to call
sure?
the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at Clarissa Sells WNC.
Pretty sure.
Did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is the Sportsocracy. We are back, or I am back, in the Ingles studio. Jeremy live from Mullet Manor, getting ready to take flight on his beach vacation. Well, not flying. You're driving, right?
Yes.
You're not flying to Georgia.
No. I mean, we could. The only problem is that the nearest airport, I think, is Asheville.
I mean, you could. There's a Savannah airport.
Yeah, but it can fly in like a pack of gum.
I think Brunswick has one over there by the nuclear power plant. You can go try to land on that little landing strip. Jeremy going on vacation, well-deserved honeymoon coming up for them. So everybody say happy anniversary. We are running down the AFC South, how the schedule laid out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I thought I was going to be, real optimistic about Jacksonville this year. And then I looked at the schedule and I went, I don't think this is going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. And I feel like this is a team that's going to be fighting for people's jobs. What do you think?
I tend to agree with you. I have Jacksonville at 9-8.
That was my best case scenario.
They're one of the first teams that doesn't make the playoffs for me.
I don't see how it gets any better than 9-8 for Jacksonville, and it could be markedly worse.
Okay, so tell me markedly worse.
They have no. Again, this is another one of those rhythm arguments. There's no room in this schedule for a long streak of wins. They have 2 shots at streaks, in my opinion. Weeks 5 through 7, where they go Indianapolis, Chicago on the road, and New England, which obviously Chicago, we think that's not going to be a cupcake.
No, but those are the last 2 of those are in England.
Yeah. And then week 16 through 18, you go at Vegas, Tennessee, at Indianapolis. Those are the easiest stretches of the season. And the rest of it is just a lot of teams that I don't think you're better than.
If they start 2-2, they should be happy.
I could see them starting 0-6. It wouldn't surprise me.
That would surprise me a lot.
Really?
Losing to Indianapolis in your own home stadium, yeah, that would surprise me. You got 3 games on the road.
Seems to happen all the time. Indianapolis is a team that they can't really handle at home.
Well, they were worse than them for a long time.
Indianapolis that knocked them out of the playoffs like 3 years in a row?
Well, they've also been worse than Indianapolis for several years. I don't feel like they're worse than Indianapolis now. I don't buy Anthony Richardson at all. So I never have, probably never will. I guess I look at the back end of that schedule and go, man, there's a lot of coin flip games, and those tend to be teams that don't make the playoffs. Because even if you get pretty good luck, that's not enough for you to make it.
It's a pivotal year for Trevor Lawrence. It's a pivotal year for Doug. I don't know that. You have the cons running the show here. So
that's that's KHANS, by the way.
You can spell it however you want to. Look, Tony was the one that was faking an injury, right? At the draft.
He was the one doing the. He's the one going full sell a WWE pile driver at the NFL draft. That didn't do much for me. I'm not going to lie to you.
No. And you got a team that's in – did they make a move this year that made you feel like they're going to take a big step forward?
No. They really didn't.
They didn't to me either.
I think the team is worse at practically every level except the offensive line.
I just don't feel like this is going to be a good year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 9-8 is my best case scenario for them, but I think they very well could end up somewhere in that 7-10 category. And that is a disaster for everybody involved, and that leads to more changes.
I'm not as low as you are, but I had them 9-8 and missing the playoffs barely.
Yep.
They were tied with 2 other teams.
The Indianapolis Colts. Is this you just said that you think Jacksonville's better than Indianapolis? Is it by a lot? Are you markedly higher on Jacksonville than you are on Indianapolis?
No. Record-wise, I am.
Record-wise, you are. Okay. How
I have Jackson.
Do you have Indianapolis?
I have Indianapolis and Tennessee tied with each other. By the way, the Jaguars haven't lost to Indianapolis at home in like a decade. Just throwing that out there. I thought that sounded weird when you said it, and then of course my backup computer here is not running at full tilt.
Okay, my bad.
You said record.
Yeah.
Record. I have the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts with the exact same record. They're both 6-11.
Okay. Ooh.
The Colts got absolutely no. They got nothing beneficial when the schedule came out.
And nothing. And you don't think? I mean, what is so tough about it?
Okay, well, the biggest question for me is how good do you think that the Colts are? And in terms of just talent, you had to judge their roster 1 to 32. Where you put them?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would say they're probably middle of the league somewhere.
So roughly 16, 18, 20, somewhere in there?
Yeah, probably.
Their first 5 games are Houston, Green Bay, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville. Name me the team in that they're better than. With a really young quarterback. Then you get one on the road at Tennessee, which is not going to be a walk in the park. Then you go Miami, Houston. That's your first 8 games. They could be 0-8, and I would not be shocked.
Okay. I don't disagree that is a possibility because they're not better than most of those teams, and you got one of them on the road in that stretch, a division game on the road. So I can follow you down that path. And if it does go that poorly, then yeah, I see this being very tough for Anthony Richardson and Shane Steichen.
It's just, to me, it's a brutal schedule to start. And you start that bad, there's really no getting on. There's no getting on track.
Oh, no, because even if you were able to roll off wins after that against Minnesota and maybe Buffalo, you get smacked back down by the Jets and the Lions.
Exactly. I mean,
but that last stretch of the season, though, that could be fun.
Woo, you got 5 games when you're already
You'll be able to
2-10.
Just enough. Well, you're going to be able to do the same thing you did last year, where you will be able to win enough games down the stretch where you will be, hey, is there an outside chance that we could have 17 things go our way and make the playoffs?
I will make a bet with you right now. We never talk about
on the table.
I'll make a bet with you right now. We never talk about the Indianapolis Colts in the playoffs one time over 18 weeks.
Never. Okay.
Tell me where the wins are going to come in. All right, week 1 at home against Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You give them a 10% chance to win that game?
Roundabout.
At Green Bay, I'll go 10% again. You catch Chicago in your place. Oh, I could be convinced you win that.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, that defense will ruin Anthony Richardson's life for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
At Jacksonville, yeah. He ain't won there in 9 years. I highly doubt you're going to start now. Your first really, truly, honest-to-God winnable game for me is Tennessee in Week 6, and it's on the road. You start 0-5, this team will go sideways. And that's exactly how I think this goes.
Mm-hmm. It all goes sideways and downhill for Indianapolis. 6-11 season for you, Jeremy. Do you still have my numbers pulled up, the ones I gave you yesterday?
No.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And they're here somewhere
in that same range as well. And then that leaves us with the final team in this division, the Tennessee Titans.
This is proof positive that the same record can feel very different with 2 different teams. 6-11 for the Tennessee Titans, 6-11 for the Indianapolis Colts. One of them, they're miserable. One of them, it's an improvement.
I'd be ecstatic.
I can't say that I'd be ecstatic because I actually think they could be better than that. It's just, I think if you go 6-11 or even get to 7-10 or 8-9, there's a great chance you walk out of this year and go, we found our quarterback. We found our quarterback. That's all we ever wanted.
Tennessee's in that same boat though, with everybody else. I mean, this division got handed no favors. To wind up with the AFC East and the NFC North as your partner divisions for this year, it's pretty rough because we think there are 3 playoff teams, no doubt, from the NFC North, and then you got at least 2. And if you're still a Bills believer, then you think there's 3 legitimate teams in the AFC East. So it boosts up that strength of schedule. But there again, I look at their schedule and go, there's not a game that you can win there in the first 2 months. Maybe Indianapolis. Maybe New England in week 9. Maybe
I'm
Minnesota
shocked you said
in week
maybe
11.
New England.
Yeah. I'm not a great believer, obviously, in Will Levis. It's not that I hate him. It's just I don't know how good this team can be. So even a game against New England, I'm not real sure that you're definitely going to win that game. You have Minnesota on the schedule as well, the Washington Commanders, and I'll go Chargers if they're terrible. Other than that, I don't see another game that they could win.
You're really down on the talent of this team. I'm going to ask you the same question that you asked me. I'm just going to change the teams.
Yes.
What's the difference between the Indianapolis Colts and Tennessee Titans? Roster to roster.
Roster to roster, well, I like your running game better.
Woo.
Well, I mean, that
how about you tell me how much you like their punter better, because that means about as much to me.
I believe I like your defense better.
I'm not sure I agree with you there. Secondary of the Titans is exponentially better.
Mm-hmm.
I could make the argument that the linebacker core is better. Where Indianapolis would get you would be in the front 4. Outside of that, I'd take Tennessee all the way up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons, I'll take Tennessee. Quarterback, I would probably take Levis over Anthony Richardson, but it's close.
Mm-hmm.
He at least has a year starting under his belt.
I just don't know that he's good at it yet.
Do you know Anthony Richardson's good at it yet?
No, not really.
He was terrible in the second half of games last year. And that's when he just randomly made it to the second half because he didn't twice.
Mm-hmm.
Only played 4 games, so it's kind of it's a real low bar. I don't know. I don't buy into Indianapolis as much as you do, and I'm obviously way higher on Tennessee.
Yeah.
Don't know that that's going to reflect in the record because, I mean, you're right. The schedule is very tough.
Brutal. It's absolutely brutal. It's hard to win games in this league, and it's definitely hard to win games if you're the least talented team. And that's the problem that they have in, 13 of their games. They are the least talented team. My opinion.
I don't disagree with you vehemently in that. So,
yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Still reacting to the NFL schedule release. We've got a schedule release to do of our own, Jeremy.
We do, and we will do that in the 3rd hour of this here program.
you go. The Living the Dream Tour. Details coming up. Stick with us here on ESPN Asheville. We'll be back after the top of the hour.
Tuesday, July 30th. Orange.
Clear.
Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week. Say free this week into your Xfinity voice remote.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not real excited about widespread rainfall through at least mid-afternoon, but showers become a little bit more likely now. Even into the evening hours, there could be a thunderstorm, 75. Tonight, showers are likely, maybe a thunderstorm, so pack along the rain gear and some patience if you are going to be out. 60 degrees. Saturday, scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, more likely as the day goes on. A weak area of low pressure trying to kick on through, upper 70s. Sunday, more showers, maybe a thunderstorm, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Disasters at home from floods, fires, or storm is a homeowner's worst nightmare. It pays to have a professional on your side, and that's exactly what you get with First Restoration Services. They've built their business off trust, integrity, speed, and quality. Learn more online at frs247.com.
Hey, are you up for a real challenge? Make-A-Wish Trailblaze Challenge is committed to ensuring that no eligible child waits to experience the hope and joy that a wish brings. Ready to claim your spot? This is a sellout event, so don't wait. www.trailblazechallenge.org.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2%
Are you back?
Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medication.
Are you there?
SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Bonus bucks.
I'm back.
All right, there he is.
You got me in the preview?
Yeah, let me turn it off.
Brought to you by Discount Shoes.
Step into savings at Discount Shoes in Brevard Road. Find.
Yeah, I got you.
I think I got the stream fixed. OBS just for some reason got overloaded, and I mean I can't stop it in the middle, so I have to get into a longer break before I can do that because it takes a few minutes to restart.
From the Ingles,
right.
This is ESP.
All right, here we go. Cue to calls next.
We're cobbling together as best we can.
Fairview, WMXF, Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy. That's happy. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Take us with you everywhere you go. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat each and every day. Reacting to the NFL schedule release on Wednesday. If you missed the NFC teams, you can go back and check out the podcast or the YouTube stream of that yesterday. Today, we're focusing on the AFC teams.
And thank you for that are pushing through on the YouTube stream. We had a little bit of an overload there at the end of the last hour. Radio connectivity is fun. Where you have computers and you got other stuff, you got to put it all together. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube, and you may or may not have all the pieces. So,
yes, indeed. I'm seeing the requests for the Baltimore Ravens to be next up on the on the breakdown here, Jeremy. So I feel like we are the Democratic Republic of sports. That's probably where we should go.
I mean, I'm not averse to it.
To the AFC North. We go. And do we start at the top? Do we start at the bottom?
That's up to you.
The Baltimore Ravens. We'll start at the top because to me the top doesn't change.
You have Baltimore win this division again, don't you?
I do. I have Baltimore winning the division again. I have Cincinnati right behind them. I have Cleveland right behind them. And I have the Pittsburgh Steelers right behind them. All of them's jammed up there together. And I'm almost back to where I was last year when I predicted that everyone in this division would have 10 wins. I'm at 9. I'm at 9 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm at 9 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have 11 wins for the Browns, 11 wins for the Ravens, and then I have the Bengals winning the division. And, I mean, my knock here is not on, losing Mike McDonald. It's not any of those things. I'm stuck on this is the tightest division in all of sports to me. Mm-hmm. And you go no receivers. You got Zay Flowers and a bunch of dudes. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure that Baltimore's better than Cleveland or Cincinnati at this point. They're very close. The only one that's far off for me is the Steelers, and that's because, well, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. But their defense is so good that it keeps them really close in the standings.
Yes. I still feel like Baltimore is the team that's going to have it all together, the team that will win the most regular season games. Yeah, when you get into the playoffs, it's a whole different story. Baltimore just is unrelenting. They never quit. They retool, and they figure out a way to make it work. I had I had the same concerns last year, for the most part, about their wide receiver room, because it was Zay Flowers, a rookie, and Odell Beckham Jr., and the same cast of characters, aside from the rookies that they have this year. It wasn't great last year. And yet they were still a team that was vying for the championship.
Here's my problem. Name me the team in the division that will be fun to play.
There won't be.
There's not one.
That doesn't exist.
Now, look at the non-conference or the non-divisional games. They play the AFC West, which means you get the Chargers, you get the Raiders, you get the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Even if you think the Chargers are where I think they are, and you're with me on the Broncos, that's 2. Where are the other reasonably easy games on this schedule? It's the Giants. That's it. Mm-hmm. They play 14 good teams. I'll give you Washington. I think Washington's better than a lot of other people do. I think it was James Rarick earlier that said he thought we were too low on Washington. I do not think I'm too low on Washington. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, but I think they're way better than the average commentator does.
Yep.
I just don't know how you're supposed to go through this schedule with no break whatsoever. This is the team that won the division last year. So you catch all the ones where everybody else catches the 2s, 3s, and 4s. That's a difference to me.
It is a little bit of a difference. But even in the not easy scenarios, they're still the favorite by, far and away. All right. Las Vegas, that won't be easy. They're still markedly better than the Raiders. The Buffalo Bills, that won't be an easy game, but they're still better. Same thing goes with Tampa Bay. Same thing to me with Pittsburgh. I know those are division games, and they're tough, and they'll lose one of those probably. But even if you do, you're still so markedly more talented that you'll win the games you're supposed to win. And then you're right. I mean, there are a lot of tough games.
Okay, you said you're markedly more talented. Okay, what position is Baltimore markedly more talented?
Than who?
The average AFC team. Because the vast majority of their schedule is the AFC. They play 13 games against the AFC.
Mm-hmm. I would say quarterback is one.
You're markedly better? in a conference with Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Burrow, you're markedly better?
Then that covered what, 4 teams on their schedule?
I said then the AFC. I mean, if you want me to go through the schedule, then you do start getting some Baker Mayfields.
Sure.
But all right, I'll give you quarterback. Are they markedly better at running back? Are they markedly better at wide receiver? Are they markedly better at tight end? Are they markedly better on the offensive line? Do they have a markedly better pass rush? Do they have a markedly better secondary? Because the answer to everything I just asked you is no. It's a really well-coached team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a talented team. But as soon as you start saying markedly, I'm out. I think they did this with a little bit of smoke and mirrors last year. And you had just a prodigious year out of Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
History serves me that I don't know that I can expect that again. Now, if you think Lamar Jackson's a top 4, no doubt, quarterback in the league, okay. I don't. I think the difference between 1 and 2 and 3 and 10 is about the same. From 3 to 10, there's not a huge difference for me. I mean, yes, there's one I would rather have, but it's not going to – it won't solve all ills. And then you look at Baltimore, and you go for weeks. At 2 points in the schedule, you go a month at a time without even a game where you could – I never want to say you can rest on your laurels, but a game where you don't have to put up your A game to win. And that's tough for me. Kelvin Joyner also said in the YouTube comments, they were strangely healthy last year by comparison to what they have been.
No doubt they were. But if they get another healthy season, then 12 wins is the floor.
I don't agree with you. Anyway. I don't have them winning 12 games. I don't. I mean, just look how many teams on the schedule you look at and go, all right, roster for roster, who's better, Kansas City Chiefs or the Baltimore Ravens?
Kansas City by a smidge.
Okay, well, you play them on the road. Who's better, them or Cincinnati?
I think it's them.
Okay, well, you play them on the road. Pittsburgh, Chargers, Houston, you play all of the Tampa Bay, Cleveland, you play all these teams on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I think saying 12 is the floor is insane to me. I could see the Baltimore Ravens going 9-8, and it wouldn't shock me in the least.
Wow.
I think they're good. The schedule is just evil. When you play in a division this well, there's a reason you don't see back-to-back division champions very often. Because the schedule's built for you to not do that.
Okay. All right. So you have Cincinnati winning the division?
I do. Cincinnati gets the exact opposite of this. Hey, where did Cincinnati finish in the division last year?
Well, they were last.
Last. Yeah, so I get the last place team in the other divisions where you get the first place team.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting Buffalo and Houston and Kansas City, Tampa, I get the Panthers and the Patriots, and that's enough of a difference for me. I don't think those rosters are that discrepant. I don't think any of them are that discrepant, to be honest with you.
Okay. It was a tie for me, and tiebreaker goes to Baltimore. I had them both. I think I had them both at 12-5.
You had Cincinnati at 12-5 as well?
I believe so. I either had them at 12-5 or I had them at 11-6.
I think you had what you sent me. I'm pretty sure you had Cincinnati at like 15-2 or something ridiculous like that.
Did I? I don't even remember, and I can't find that file now.
I mean, just look at the schedule. All right, so Cincinnati. I'm going to do the same thing with Cincinnati as I did with Baltimore. You start with New England and Kansas City, Washington, Carolina, Baltimore, the Giants. That's your first 6 weeks. You'll be 4-2 standing on your head. You could be 4-2 with Jake Browning playing quarterback. Then you do have an ugly stretch because you go Cleveland, Philadelphia, Raiders, Ravens, Chargers. You end the season with the Cowboys, the Steelers in your place off a bye, at the Titans, Cleveland again, Denver, and Pittsburgh in a game where they're probably playing for nothing with God knows who playing quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, to me, has the easiest stretch. It is not close, and nobody's that much better than them.
They are very good. And if Joe Burrow can stay healthy, then it's going to be fine. Problem is, if he's not, then that, as we've seen, that becomes a problem. They were able to win a couple of games with Jake Browning, but you can't be a playoff team in the AFC with Jake Browning.
No, I agree with that.
The AFC North is going to continue to be a dogfight next year. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll do the other two teams in the AFC North, Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm still going for it, even with high
clear
atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first occurred in 2% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your
Free at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you
Got a
need
minute
to
here.
call the agents at Clarissa.
Yep.
10-4.
Brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces, and trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 AFC North. It's always a dogfight. It's going to continue to be a dogfight. Weird because there's only one dog in that division, and they don't seem to win the division very much. The Cleveland Browns, who I'm hoping they steer more into the into the use of the dog logo this year. No more Brownie the elf.
Oh, you don't like the little Keebler elf for the Cleveland Browns? They like cookies. There's nothing wrong with liking cookies.
Ain't it great? Yeah, no. I need you to lean into the dog logo here. Put it on a helmet for once.
Oh yeah, I mean, not that you're biased, since that logo looks, I don't know, damn near exactly like your college's logo.
Hey, look, when you find a good look, you got to go with it. Never go wrong with the dog or the G.
I could make the argument you go wrong with both. Hey, Georgia
Cleveland
boy, Green Bay
Browns.
called. They want their logo back.
Cleveland Browns. They look like an 11-6 team to me. But that's all going to depend on Deshaun Watson. And is it going to happen or no? The schedule laid really well for him to get his legs under him, I feel like. I mean, I know week one's going to be not great. That is a defense that can get after you with the Dallas Cowboys, but you're at home. So you roll off a win there. Jacksonville Jaguars, are they a banger defensively?
No.
You got the New York Giants after that. And then I got the Las Vegas Raiders, which I don't believe in their secondary at all. The pass rush, you're going to have to deal with that, but good thing I got a great offensive line. Washington Commanders are after that. To me, the Browns got a great ramp here to go into the tough part of the schedule, because after that it goes Eagles, Bengals, Ravens, and that's when you're going to need to know what Deshaun Watson is.
The difference for me is that Cleveland is one of the only teams in the NFL that I think is built to win you by running it, bleeding you out, getting a play from your quarterback every now and then, and playing just really, really good defense. To me, Cleveland is the build that the New York Jets are following. The difference is they have a 4-time MVP running point on it. And for me, that makes Cleveland practically as safe as any team in the league. I'm just not sure that when you get into battles with the Pat Mahomes, with the Aaron Rodgers, with the guys like that, I'm not sure you can win those. That's my only reservation about Cleveland. And I do look at Nick Chubb and go, man, we're asking a lot of you. I love Nick Chubb. I'm not a Georgia guy, and I'm not a Browns fan. But there is something about Nick Chubb that I have always really admired and respected. I just feel like this is a really tall ask. Now, that being said, I have them making the playoffs. I have all three of the teams we've talked about making the playoffs.
Yes, I do too.
I have three coming out of the AFC North, and the Pittsburgh Steelers miss it by the hair of their teeth.
Mm-hmm. I'm about the same way. I think I had the Steelers missing it by a game.
They were the first team out for me. They lost the tiebreaker to... Now I can't remember. I have to go back and look.
The Cleveland Browns, that defense is terrifying. And, yeah, they were in the pretty much same position as the New York Jets. If you had gotten competent play from your quarterback, that offense could have been better. And now it's Deshaun Watson's turn. And I still go back to that Mary Kay Cabot article from about a month ago. Maybe it's been 6 weeks ago. Talking about the leash for Deshaun Watson. That is the storyline I'm watching all year long. How long is that leash? Because they make you think that it's not very long and they'll be just fine turning it over to Jameis Winston. And after what happened with Joe Flacco last year, him coming in and playing okay and taking them into the playoffs, I can see where that mindset still plays in that room.
I feel like the Browns and the Jets are the two teams that have backup quarterbacks that could actually take them to the playoffs. I feel like Tyrod Taylor and Jameis Winston could get these teams to the playoffs. The problem is that you have to get them to not be what they have been in the past, and that is turnover prone.
Yeah,
I feel like the two starters are not going to turn the ball over a lot, which makes me feel fine that they're both solidly playoff teams.
Mm-hmm. Cleveland's quarterback questions, to me, are the reason that they're here. The reason that they fall into third place in this division. Because you're never, even if you get the best out of Deshaun Watson, is he ever going to be Joe Burrow? The answer is no.
I have to say no right now, but I know he has the talent to be just under that. Deshaun Watson has had the weirdest career. I mean, and take the personal things out of it. Just his career itself has been incredibly bizarre. Because he went from one of the best quarterbacks in the league to borderline average. I mean, name me the game last year outside of the second half against Baltimore where you went, yeah, that's a guy that deserves $50 million a year.
It wasn't one.
And now I can't feel like he's just coming back to that. Mm-mm. But I also can't look at him like he's Brock Purdy. I also find it funny that anytime I say anything negative about a quarterback, Stephen Tao thinks that means I hate them. I think I have seen him put 48 quarterbacks that have come out of my mouth on the hate list. There is one quarterback that I hate, bruh, and his name is Baker Interception Maker. That's the only hate I have. The rest of them are just different shades of not love.
Mm-hmm. We have seen Deshaun Watson play at an MVP level. I mean, granted, it was for a really crappy team. Numbers-wise, though, efficiency-wise, he was just about as good as anybody in the league that last year. The problem is that was 4 years ago. 2020 was 4 years ago. He missed the year, then he played only 6 games. Oh, and then he played only 6 games last year as well. This is the last chance you get for us to say, or for me to say, well, I don't know, maybe it'll work. Maybe he'll come back. It's only so many times I could say that before I'm not going to believe that you're coming back. If he can turn it on, they got no worries, and this will be. We won't even question whether this is borderline playoff team. Can somebody catch them late in the season? They'll be winning so many games that it'll be no doubt that they're in the playoffs. And if he could really turn it on, who knows who they could shock in the playoffs. And then there's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And then there's Maud. Doot, 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 doot.
You have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields as your quarterbacks. Other than that, it's a okay, talented roster. The defense is really good. I just don't think that – I don't really like the weapons all that much, and I really don't like the quarterbacks. But we know that you're going to be coached well enough to be threats everywhere you go.
You give them the benefit of the doubt, even though the quarterback situation gives you no reason to do that. But this is what we said about Atlanta, that Arthur Smith was the perfect fit for Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't stop thinking about something you said earlier this week. It really had not crossed my mind until it came out of your mouth. And now I can't stop seeing it. You do understand only one of these quarterbacks is making this roster, right?
Yes.
You can't have them together. I don't care how good Mike Tomlin is. I don't care about the Steeler way. I do not care. You can't have them together.
I don't believe so. I believe the only way you do have them together is if Russ is the starter and then Justin, somehow they sell him on just wait. But then the moment we make the switch, Russ is gone. That's the only way the two stay together. But even that's a shot in the dark to me. Because I don't feel like you can have those personalities in the same room together. If Justin Fields was standoffish with Nick Foles, of all people, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be copacetic with Russell Wilson. Maybe I'm wrong.
I just feel like those arguments in the room would be really funny to watch. Because you have two quarterbacks here who have entitlement like they're way better than they are. This goes back to the argument I told you about the Jets and the Titans' offensive lines. Oh, you suck? We suck too. Then you get into an argument of which one of you is actually worse.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel different? Like if I told you it was 17 games with Russell Wilson and I knew that, like I looked into a crystal ball or something, do you feel different about this team than if it was 17 games with Justin Fields?
No.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I don't feel any different about them because I feel like it's just going to be rotational pieces at that point. You're still going to be mediocre.
Now, that part didn't change. I'm talking about the record. Do you see the record as different? Like, is one of them better for you?
No.
Russ isn't going to turn the ball over. He's not going to produce the electric plays with his feet. And with the receivers you have, I'm not sure that it's not better the latter way. Mm-hmm. I think I like this team better with Justin Fields. Because, I mean, you're just bringing in a quarterback that's going to lose heads up to every quarterback you play. Right. Name me the team in the AFC that you, honest to God, think Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than what they're trotting out there.
I don't have one off the top of my head.
I'm not so sure that I do either.
Because I think, I don't know. Is he better
Denver?
than Will Levis?
I think I look at Denver and go, I think he's better than Bo Nix, but it's marginally.
Right.
I think he will be better than what you get out on the field out of Drake May in year one. But in terms of sheer talent, I'll take Drake May 100 times out of 100.
Mm-hmm. As far as Pittsburgh's schedule goes, I mean, you open up with Atlanta on the road and Denver on the road. I don't think you could have asked for a better couple of games to start out with, to figure out where you're at here. I don't think you're getting out-coached in either of those games.
I don't either.
Then you get Jim Harbaugh in his third game back in the NFL.
Old Mackey's himself.
And then we go to Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. If the Dallas Cowboys have taken the step back, that's week 5, and that's at home in my house. I feel pretty good about beating Mike McCarthy. Then I go to Las Vegas. Tough game, but there again, I'm going to err on the side of Mike Tomlin and the better defense. There are winnable games on the schedule, and a whole bunch to start out with. It's when you get into the Baltimores and the Cincinnatis and the Clevelands and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs after the week 9 bye week. That's where the rubber meets the road.
Agreed.
But by that point, you could rack up so many wins through week 8 that you only got to snake a couple of those games to be in contention at the end. I feel like Pittsburgh's schedule didn't lay too horribly for them.
It didn't. It didn't at all. That's why I think they can go 9-8. I don't think they're a 9-8 team.
Mm-hmm.
But with that schedule and the consistency of that organization, it's probably what you're going to do.
Yep. Cincinnati at the top. Baltimore, you're right. I did, by the way. I found that file that I sent you yesterday. I did have Cincinnati at 15.
I thought you did.
I did have. I thought I had Baltimore still at the top. But yeah, Cincinnati at the top, Baltimore 2, Cleveland 3, Pittsburgh as close of a 4 as you can get in the NFL division races. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We continue the breakdown of the 2024 NFL schedule, focusing on the AFC when we come back.
This is your Exergen
Clear
cast.
Thank you.
ESPN Asheville.
Not real excited about widespread rainfall through at least mid-afternoon, but showers become a little bit more likely now, even into the evening hours.
All right, so are we cramming a whole division here, doing the top of the hour on our schedule, and then finishing with the last division?
Likely as the day goes on, a weak area of low pressure trying to kick on through, upper 70s. Sunday, more showers, maybe a thunderstorm, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Acura for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Acuras, including the RDX, MDX, and Integra. Apple Tree Acura is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience. Shop online at AppleTreeSuperstore.com and in person, I-26 at Airport Road, Asheville.
If you've ever thought about Botox treatment before, then your dentist might not be the first person that pops into your head. But at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they are dedicated to the treatment of TMJ, and they use Botox for that. Botox can also be used to treat headaches that come from people grinding their teeth or clenching their jaws when they are stressed. So if you have more questions about Botox and you want to see if it's a good option for you, check out Asheville Smiles online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
Saturday, June 1st, the Orange Peel presents Striper. Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Striper live June 1st. See you at the Peel.
Xfinity has free premium networks for everyone this month, no matter what kind of entertainment you love. Addicted to true crime? Catch killer cases and more spine-tingling shows on A&E Crime Central. Crave adventure? Explore Asian action movies on Hi-Ya. Searching for something extreme? Check out skating, snowboarding, and more on Fuel TV Plus, the global home of action sports. And find crowd-pleasing bops on iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week. Say free this week in your Xfinity voice remote.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports.
All right, you back?
Whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate,
How long here?
You need to call the agents at
20 seconds.
Brokered by EXP
in the next commercial break, I'm going to need you to look at your phone. Our baby has life.
Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store.
Okay.
You'll see.
You'll be able to connect
all right.
team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Man, I miss football. It's just become more apparent since the schedule came out, and well, since last night, I think I put the hex on everything, turning on other sports. I turned on the Hurricanes game. They were up 3-2. Within 15 seconds, it felt like of me turning that on, they had blown the lead and lost Game 6 of their playoff series with the New York Rangers. Then I decided, hey, well, I'll flip it over, check out my baseball team. We're tied 5-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And we lost 7-5. The Rays immediately scored 2 runs, and, well, that was my night. And then I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll go check in on Jeremy's Nuggets over in the NBA. And, whoa, buddy. Well, Nikola Jokic just went, we'll get him in Game 7.
I have to go home. Oh, no. I have to go home.
Sometimes
he looked like he was missing his horse real bad last night.
Sometimes it just starts off so badly that you just got to go, we'll get him next time.
Well, I mean, when there's a 27-2 run in the first quarter, that's one of those where you just go, nobody get hurt because we're going to need y'all for Game 7.
Oh, yeah. And then on top of that 27-2 run in the first half, in the second half, they had a 24-0 run, did the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 7 coming your way. Is that Saturday? Sunday? Sunday. I believe it's Sunday is the Game 7 of the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're talking to NFL schedule release, though, today. AFC deep dive, division by division. And, Jeremy, what say we go AFC West?
I agree with you. I think you were on the same page there, Tanker.
Save the best for last, right? I know how you think.
You said it, not me. Everybody put your sorries in a sack because I didn't say that. He did.
The Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions 2 years running. Can they win this division again? Yes. Can they win the entire thing again? Well, it's going to be a tough task, obviously. But if anybody can, I think it could be Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City will rule the division once again, and I don't see this train derailing anytime soon.
Well, I mean, as long as Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes are there, it stands to reason that.
Right, and I really don't care all that much what the schedule says. I know tough games are tough games, but they're going to be in every one of them and favored to win all of them.
You should care what the schedule gives. I mean, you should definitely care more about what the schedule gives than the opinions of their kicker, which seem to be really pissing people off right now.
Well,
there were times in that
strong convictions.
There were times in that I wanted to say, they can see you, right? Like we're not just here hanging out.
Right. This ain't the old days, bud, where you can just give the commencement speech at some school that somebody's never heard of, and then nobody hears what you said. This is not a private event.
Look, I'm going to be really honest with you. I have to go on this tirade, or it's going to bore in my ear and it's going to gnaw at my brain because I don't have another show for 11 days, so I don't get this. I'll never be able to get this out again. If you're one of those people that thinks that anything somebody says is like brave and awesome and you should be able to, you have to listen to what they say because it's pro blank. I don't care what that blank is. If you're one of those people, I need you to play 1, 2, 3 shut mouth on Harrison Butker because it works both ways. Now, absolutely. If you think everybody should keep their mouth shut, okay, we can listen. There is somebody in national media, and I won't say their name, but it has a letter in the middle, and his first name it rhymes with Beaven. He seems to believe that as long as you agree with me, you can say anything you want to. But Harrison Butker should be excommunicated. Don't work that way. Sorry, bruh, don't work that way. So you better be consistent, because that's the way the world works.
Yeah.
We can shut Harrison Butker up, but we got a whole list of people on your side that we're going to need them to shut all the way up too.
Well, he did make himself some money with that. His jersey sales went through the roof.
Yeah, you know why?
Number one selling jersey, because no one was buying a Harrison Butker jersey.
I didn't think you were going to get that right. Yeah, the percentages went through the roof because 8 people bought one last year.
It's the fastest selling jersey. Well, of course it is, because the only people that had Harrison Butker jerseys before this were his mom. Of course, he has the fastest selling jersey. Anyhow, he did gain a lot of fans with it. I do know that.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, and did I agree with everything he said? No, I didn't.
You shouldn't be expected to.
No.
I should never be expected to agree with everything.
No, I'm not defending what he said.
Especially when they go stem to stern, I'm burning it down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sick of the PC way, and I'm burning it all down.
I almost felt like Harrison Butker went full Trump rally of, I said one crazy thing, and you went, yeah! And now I just want you to keep going, yeah! So I might have said things I didn't mean to. I'm not even defending what he said. I'm just saying he has the right to say it.
He does. He does. And we all have our rights to be upset about it.
And I'm proud to be an American where I can say whatever I want.
The Kansas City Chiefs schedule starts out with the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals in back-to-back weeks. That would frighten me for most teams, but it doesn't for this one.
I think you're being really dismissive, like Kansas City's just going to be around forever and nothing can ever stop them and we can put anything in their way, and I think that's an error in judgment. I really do.
Mean, you think there's a step back coming?
There's been a step back in every dynasty ever. Why would I not think there's one coming for Kansas City? Now, can I tell you it's this year? No. I still have Kansas City as the 2 seed in the AFC. But you're basically sitting here telling me, well, we can put anything in front of Kansas City that we want to, and they'll be favored 17-0, and that's a gross oversimplification. Well, I could easily see a path that the Chiefs go into the AFC playoffs as the 3 or the 4 seed. I think they're going to win the division because I don't think any team in that division can beat them consistently. But also to just say, I don't care about the schedule. Okay, Tom Brady's on line 3, and he'd like to talk about an 8-year period in the middle of their dynasty where the schedule mattered a lot.
A lot.
Because the conference got better.
Yep.
Nobody ever talks about that. We just treat it like New England was awesome for 21 years. They were, but they didn't consistently get to Super Bowls for about a decade. Because everybody around you got better. And now you have to beat 7 good quarterbacks instead of beating 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The landmines are just few and far between for me on the schedule. Starts out rough with Baltimore and Cincinnati. And then I feel like you go 3 games with Atlanta, L.A., New Orleans, where you should win those easily.
You could lose at L.A. It wouldn't shock me in the least.
And then you go to San Francisco, which will be tough.
Off a bye.
But then you go Raiders, Bucks, Broncos, Bills, Panthers, Raiders. Again, like that whole stretch right there, none of those games talent-wise should be close. They will be close because that's what Patrick Mahomes does.
Yes.
They don't play blowout games. They don't do that with anybody, practically. I don't think another 4-loss season is out of the realm of possibility.
I do. I have them 11-6. They win the division. They're the 2 seed in the AFC, but they're tied with another team for the 2. They just win the tiebreaker.
Okay. Is there another team in this division that's in their class?
Okay, define in their class. That's not the question I thought you were about to
ask me. Is there anyone that can threaten them in this division?
Yes.
Do tell.
That can threaten them and make this I feel like you think close. Kansas City's going to have the division locked up with 5 weeks left. That's how you're making this sound.
Could.
Well, I mean, they could fly around the room, but they're not going to do that either. Kansas City loses games that don't make any sense every single year. Denver and the Raiders last year. They'll do it again this year. I have another playoff team out of the AFC West, and it's the Las Vegas Raiders. With the improvements to that defense, the fact that you now have a steady force at quarterback. I didn't say he was elite. Gardner Minshew almost got to the playoffs last year with the Indianapolis Colts in what I think was a tougher division because you had the Jaguars and the Texans who were also good. You are one bad play call away from possibly knocking out the Houston Texans. And I don't see any reason he can't do it again. I've got the Raiders at 9-8 as the final wild card team in the AFC.
Okay. I like the confidence.
And now I need to preface this with you asked, can they threaten? For me, threaten means with 2 weeks to go in the season, they could still technically win this division. That's my idea of threaten. I didn't say we were going to be, pins and needles. Kansas City has to win week 18. I didn't say that.
Right. If you're okay, let me put it this way. If I had to bet my house on one team to win their division, it's Kansas City. Because
I would take Philadelphia.
You know me and the Raiders. I don't think you're there. You've made improvements this offseason. I give you credit for that. I just don't know that this team comes together and is is better than maybe a playoff contender.
I didn't tell you they're going to the Super Bowl.
No, I know you didn't. And what you said, 9-8. That's respectable.
9-8. They have a schedule that in the first 9 games, they have the Chargers, they have the Panthers, they have the Broncos, they have the Steelers, and then there are some tough games on the opposite side of that. But they close with Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Jacksonville, New Orleans, and the Chargers. I could make an argument that they could start this year 4-6 and finish at 10-7. I can make that argument, and it ain't a hard argument to make.
Okay, I could see that being a path.
I like this Raiders team. I think their weapons are really good. Adding Brock Bowers makes me really fear that offense. I have way less of a fear of Zamir White as the starting running back for the Raiders than you do. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this. It should tell you something that Antonio Pierce was here with this guy last year, and he ain't worried about it. They invested nothing in the running back room. What does that tell you?
Right.
It means he doesn't think it's a problem.
No,
it's his job, and he doesn't think it's a problem.
Sure. I have my doubts that if he can be what Josh Jacobs was. But again, maybe
I don't need him to be what Josh Jacobs was.
That's not what you're looking for. You got depth behind him with Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not jumping up and down about it, but you drafted Lobby, that kid that you really like.
I love him. I love him in this fit, too. I think he's the passing down back by mid-year, and you're going to realize why I loved this kid so much.
And then Amir Abdullah, who I didn't even know was still in the league.
I don't care that he's still in the league. I knew he was, and I would have traded that information with you. Because for me, that's like how to wash socks in the dishwasher. It's not information that I need because it's not pertinent to anything, so I'd give it to you if I could.
If Las Vegas went out and made some kind of a deal for, I don't know, another running back, I'd feel better about it.
I don't know why you care. You bring up running back with every team we talk about, and I'm not so sure I understand why you care. What you said was he can't be Josh Jacobs. I don't need him to be because there are no Jared Stidhams. There are no whoever at quarterback that they've had over the last handful of years. Even Jimmy Garoppolo, who was awful. That day ain't coming. I've got Steady Eddie Gardner Minshew. I've got Steady Eddie Aiden O'Connell. Are they elite? No, but I know exactly what I'm getting. And I have Devontae Adams, I have Jacoby Myers, I have Michael Mayer, I have Brock Bowers. That is a really elite receiving corps. By any metric. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're looking for. I have the best tandem of tight ends in the NFL, and I have one of the 5 best receivers in the NFL. How many teams can say that? Oh, by the way, I'm going to haunt the nightmares of quarterbacks. With Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Christian Wilkins, Tyree Wilson. I'm fine. I think this team is good. I have them 9-8, and I have them making the playoffs.
All right. Las Vegas Raiders making the playoffs for Jeremy.
We could do the really irrelevant.
The Broncos.
There you go. Let's do the irrelevant team because I have them picking second in the NFL draft next year.
Yeah, Denver Broncos, they suck a lot.
Can you find 5 wins on that schedule?
No.
I did, and I'm not really sure how I did it.
I feel like I pulled off a feat there of some kind.
I don't have the game by game pulled up on my computer right this second. And I keep looking at 5 and 12, going, well, every team wins 5 games, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure where I found those 5 for Denver.
I'm not sure either. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I'm going, don't.
Do you see a path they're not 0-7?
No.
Neither do I.
I do not. You start with Seahawks, Steelers, Seahawks on the road, by the way. Steelers on the road at Tampa, on the road at the Jets, the Raiders, the Chargers, at the Saints.
That's 0-7.
That's 0-7. Then you get the Panthers, which you might get a win.
Yeah, because it's in Denver.
Back-to-back. All right, but then you got to go back-to-back on the road at Baltimore, at Kansas City. You're going to get your feelings hurt twice. Then you got the Falcons at the Raiders, Browns, Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. It doesn't matter which one of those games are on the road or not. You've got 3 games that I even like you possibility that you could win late, overtime, last field goal, whatever.
I wish I could talk to you yesterday, Jeremy, to figure out how I got the Broncos to 5 and 12. Because as I have perused that schedule, I said 1-16 wrong.
Yes. They could be picking number 1 next year. They could end up picking a quarterback in the top 12 again.
Wouldn't that be fun? Hey, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, you remember when I told you not to do that? That's why.
You ought not have done that to your boys.
Although, if you want to sell things door to door in Utah, You got yourself a hell of a sales team in that quarterback room. Let's go.
Yeah. This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Thanks to our good friends at Ingles Markets and some other partners that we'll be telling you about. We are hitting the road for the Living the Dream Tour. It is stem to stern all over the Southeast, hitting the biggest games of the football season. We've already leaked out half of our schedule. Coming up after this break, we will reveal the full schedule for the fall, as Jeremy and I are going to be on the road with Ingles Markets and the Sportsocracy, and you following along on the YouTube stream. We'll be right back.
Oh, that's not
Clear. Thank you. All right, so we're going to open this hour with it and then do the last 5 teams to end the hour?
Yep.
Perfect. Check your text messages.
This place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch off. Okay, nice to meet you.
And don't give away what you're looking at.
Told you.
They can still hear you.
$135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are still facing an ongoing rise of hate and discrimination.
Oh, yeah.
We want the world to know that we are
She
so much
lives,
more than
Tank.
simply
She
being
lives.
victims. That's why Stop AAPI Hate is launching Spread AAPI Love. Throughout AAPI Heritage Month in May, we are collecting and showcasing everyday stories of resistance.
Amazeballs.
She's getting her boots, Tank. She's getting her boots.
Share your story at spreadaapilove.org.
And I can't wait to knock them.
Oh, yeah.
Spread AAPI Love.
This is the
These boots are made for knocking, and that's just what we'll do.
Hiking, jogging, biking, playing on the beach.
I gotta go load my
Listen,
my
don't go through the
washing
summer
machine. I'll be
missing
right
out
back.
on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use bio.
Don't talk about your wife like that.
I knew you were going to say that. That is such a tired joke.
QCS regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, who was an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not real excited about widespread rainfall through at least mid-afternoon, but showers become a little bit more likely now. Even into the evening hours, there could be a thunderstorm, 75. Tonight, showers are likely, maybe a thunderstorm, so pack along the rain gear and some patience if you are going to be out. 60 degrees. Saturday, scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, more likely as the day goes on. A weak area of low pressure trying to kick on through. Upper 70s. Sunday, more showers, maybe a thunderstorm, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
How long I got here?
Now to Apple Tree Acura for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Acuras, including the
minute and 20 seconds.
Integra.
All right, I'll be right back.
Apple Tree Acura is committed to offering service and a great experience. Shop online at AppleTreeSuperstore.com and in person, I-26 at Airport Road, Asheville.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, and it's time, Jeremy Greene.
It's time.
We've been building up to this moment for, well, all of our lives. That's why we're calling it the Livin' the Dream Tour, because, well, when we said, hey, maybe we should do more things out on the road, some people looked at us and went, yeah, you should do that.
You should do that. Some really important people that they're the ones that make this show happen. And
indeed,
we're very lucky that we have great partners, Ingles Markets, a slew of others that we'll be telling you when I return back from the darkness, of which I do find the humor in that my darkness this year is like the sunniest place on earth.
Mm-hmm.
But when we went to them and said, hey, we want to go out on the road, I developed a schedule that I was like, these are all of the things we want to do. And my thought when I handed them, let's see, math's fun, 26 different events, I thought they would go, hey, you should pick like 12 and we'll do that. Instead, they went, yep, all of them. Let's go.
To be fair, I was expecting like 5.
Well, I did 3 last year, so I had like 8 to 12 in my head. Ingles, who is, I mean, I know people think we just say this because they sponsor the show, and they are so influential in the creative of this because they really love us and they want us to be us. And we can't thank them enough for that. This is what I thought this show was going to be when we started, and then COVID happened, and then we went nowhere for like 2 years. And I am a house cat to a point, but I like to get out of the office and enjoy life. And so as I did that last year, it really made that creative itch came out, and we have so many things wrapped up in this. We're going to be doing tailgate specials on Saturdays. We're going to be doing cooking tailgate things with my wife. My wife has a whole special of things to do around these locations. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm so excited about it. So I would say now is probably the time that we unveil the schedule, and then we explain how you, the listeners of this program, might be able to go with us.
Yes, indeed. So the Livin' the Dream Tour begins on July the 13th. It's going to be like the test run.
This is the make sure everything works.
Yes. It's the test run of what's about to come for the fall season. July 13th, Jeremy participating in the Scott Fish Bowl, the North Carolina draft at Cabarrus Brewing. in Charlotte, North Carolina, July the 13th. It's going to be a fantasy show.
It'll be all fantasy. I'm actually spending the weekend in Charlotte with HWA and Tank if he wants to go. We have not discussed that, but I assumed you would be there as well.
Well, we had not discussed that, and that's why I said Jeremy's participating. I will probably tag along, though. For continuity. I want to be there to make sure all the things work as well. Scott Fishbowl, though, it's a great charity fantasy tournament. If you're not familiar, it is all manner of people from across the country that are involved in this. There's charity aspects to it, and we know how much we are slots for charity.
We're very slotty. So the Scott Fishbowl is for Fantasy Cares, which is a charity that you can. I can't do it service in the amount of time because we have a lot of dates. But our fantasy content that weekend, all of our super chats and things like that will be going into a donation for Fantasy Cares through the Scott Fishbowl in the name of this here program and the House of Reprehensibles.
All right, and then the fantasy stuff aside, then August 1st we'll kick off the football tour as we will be taking the trip up to Canton, Ohio. I'm so stoked. Not because we're going to Hall of Fame weekend, but because we're going to be at the Hall of Fame. I've always wanted to go to the Hall of Fame. So we're going to be there. On Hall of Fame weekend, we'll get to see Julius Peppers be enshrined into the Hall of Fame and check out the Chicago Bears, Houston Texans kickoff game on August the 1st.
And we'll be there for the game and the inauguration. We will be there the whole weekend long.
Yes, the induction.
The
inauguration.
Did I say inauguration?
You did.
My brain's like liquid pudding at this point, so.
You went full presidential on me there. And then with the kickoff of the college football season, August 31st, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, the Aflac kickoff game, Georgia and Clemson. The Bulldogs and the Tigers. It's going to be a lot of fun, special to my heart. Duke's Mayo Classic the following weekend, September the 7th. Tennessee versus NC State at Bank of America Stadium, back in Charlotte. September 14th, we go to Greenville, North Carolina, Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium for the site of the Appalachian State Mountaineers and the East Carolina Pirates, the Fighting Mike Houstons against the Fighting Luke Combses.
Reuniting me with a coach from my childhood, Mike Houston, who I have literally known almost my entire life. And I am so excited to get down there, and the fact that they're playing Appalachian makes it even better.
Then on September the 21st, the following weekend, we will hitch back up and make the trek to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where the North Carolina Tar Heels at Kenan Memorial Stadium will host James Madison. The Duke's coming down, and we're calling that the Caleb Peak Bowl because we're hoping that our former third, Caleb, will be able to make the trip down for that game. And that might be one that I'll just let you and Caleb handle because it's Bristol weekend, and my wife loves Bristol. And
that's fine.
Sometimes I got to fit her into the schedule as well. Following weekend, this is a long trip. I've never made this drive.
I have made this drive, and I can tell you, she's a drive.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Georgia and Alabama, September the 28th. I never imagined that we would make a trip like this. But when they make it possible, bucket list. You tell me I go to that's one of those trips that if somebody said, hey, I got you a ticket, you can go see Troy at Alabama, I'd go, okay, let's go. Bryant-Denny Stadium is a bucket list trip. So Georgia, Alabama is going to be fun. And then the following weekend, October the 5th, Tallahassee, Florida. Sportsocracy goes to Doak Campbell Stadium for Clemson, Florida State.
I'm very excited about that one. I'm going back to the Doak. Very excited about it, playing the Clemson Tigers, who we will actually see 2 times in this football schedule, and we'll let you know about that in just a few minutes.
Florida at Tennessee on October the 12th, Neyland Stadium. I've seen Garth Brooks there. Never seen a football game in that stadium.
Do you like Garth Brooks? He's country and he's rock and roll.
Is he? He's not really rock and roll.
No,
I mean, there was that Chris Gaines thing, but
that wasn't rock and roll. That was emo at its finest. He writes, what is it? He writes sins, not tragedies. Yeah, that was bad. Don't ever do that again. Garth, baseball, and Chris Gaines, 2 things you should never do again.
I'd forgotten about the baseball thing. Then October 19th, back to Atlanta for the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for Notre Dame at Georgia Tech.
This is for our summer scouting tour of all the top 10 quarterbacks. The only 2 in my top 10 that we don't see are Shedeur Sanders, and I can't remember now off the top of my head which other quarterback we don't see. But Riley Leonard is in my top 10. Quinn Ewers, that's right. The hope is that we might be able to see him later in the season, and we'll get there momentarily.
I don't know that I like your chances for that, but we will see. On October the 26th, Wallace Wade Stadium, the Sportsocracy makes their way to the SMU Duke game because Jeremy really likes the quarterback from SMU.
Preston Stone, I'm really high on him. We wanted to see every team in the state of North Carolina. So we had already clicked off Keenan. We had already clicked off East Carolina. As of right now, we do not have a trip to Boone, but I have one that is we are working on it as we speak. It would be me by myself, but I would have a, how do I say this without giving anything away? A fun second. And I'm not telling you anything else beyond that.
I like that. Then on November the 2nd.
Oh, hold on. You skipped one. You got SMU Duke, October 26th.
Yeah.
That's at Wallace Wade. Now we're to the point where we haven't released any of these yet.
Okay.
We did the recap of all the games that we had already done. Let's take a break because we got a lot of ground to cover here.
Mm-hmm.
After the break, everything we have not told you of the Living the Dream tour, and yeah, it's got some doozies on it, and I can't wait.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, the Living the Dream tour. If you're not in the Asheville area, coming to a city near you. Thanks to our good friends at Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have...
And we're clear.
10-4.
Most attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts.
All right, Randy got back to me. He's going to get me that stuff tomorrow, so
perfect.
I'll work on that over the weekend.
Perfect.
Even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation. And a regular
Aaron sent me back the
study,
edits on the script, so I'll send those over to you after the show.
And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke.
What did he send you?
He edited the script down to...
Oh, okay.
That was why I asked if you'd sent me the script.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking it, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to
How long I got?
A spinal injection while on
2 minutes.
10-4. I was going to get another
cause
monster.
paralysis.
Right on.
Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I'm Julian Edelman from Games with Names, and we're on a search to find the greatest games of all time with the players and coaches who lived in them. Ever wonder what a locker room feels like at a halftime of a Super Bowl? Or what about the after parties? We're going to dive deep into the most iconic games with the most iconic people. New episodes dropping weekly. Listen to Games with Names on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
The Sportsocracy.
Gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
We're back in the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer, live from the Ingles studio. Jeremy Greene, live from Mullet Manor on scheduled release day. We're hitting the road this fall with Ingles Supermarkets. Other wonderful partners that we'll tell you more about as everything gets nailed down here after the summer vacation period here. Jeremy getting ready to be out for a week next week. We'll have 2 shows next week here on ESPN Asheville and on the iHeartRadio app Tuesday and Wednesday. News 13 sports director Chris Womack joining me in the studio here. We'll yuck it up for a couple of days, talk about some other sports possibly that Jeremy doesn't ever find time for.
It's because I don't care, Tank. I have plenty of time. I just don't care.
We all know. We all know. We are unveiling the rest of our schedule here. So the games that we just gave you, all of those we leaked out over this past week. Now, where are we going to go for the rest of the football season? Jeremy, you said the one that I was getting ready to say was that I missed one.
You didn't. I just didn't hear you say SMU Duke. I was also trying to stall you because I didn't want you to put out anything new until we got to this point. Build the suspense, Tank. Build the suspense.
That's right. That's right. Some things that I'm still learning about this whole broadcasting thing. It's only been 22 years.
Well, I was also looking at the clock going, man, it's taking you a long time to do the ones we've already put out.
It is. It is indeed. And then, where else are we going to go? On the Livin' the Dream Tour, November the 2nd. Don't call it the world's largest cocktail party.
That's exactly what we're calling it.
The Florida-Georgia game down in Jacksonville. My wife texted me about this game. She's like, y'all sure you want to go to that game? Because, I mean, I hear it gets pretty violent down there.
I'll be fine.
Like, well, I mean, we did just spend several days in Detroit. So
yeah, well, in Detroit was
fine.
fine.
Like Jacksonville's going to be too far afield for these country boys.
And, I mean, look, I'm going to be really honest with you. We're going to have a vehicle, still to be named, full of beer, also still to be named. That'll take care of the Georgia fans. And if the Florida fans get unruly, I'll just throw a bouncy ball and they'll all go off running.
Just confuse them a little bit. Distract them.
Go get it. Yeah.
Jeremy, are we still deciding on NFL games?
We have a handful. September 15th, Amy and I will be in Nashville for Titans-Jets. we will also, she and I are going to make a separate trip, which is probably going to be by plane, to Steelers Jets. We are going to Panthers Buccaneers. I do not remember the date on that.
December 1st.
December 1st, we will be at Bank of America with the Panthers and the Bucs. We have a couple more NFL dates that I'm still trying to hammer down. We just got the schedule. I locked down the Jets pretty easy because I'm credentialed with them, so that wasn't that hard. The Panthers, also not that hard. The other two are serving to be a little bit more difficult, but I think we will have those narrowed down by the time I get back.
All right, so the month of November, we'll be trying to fit some more dates in there for the NFL. End of November, rivalry week. We're going to Death Valley. South Carolina Clemson, November the 30th.
We had to get a South Carolina game in there somewhere. I felt like this was the easiest one. And we may see a very famous friend down there working on that as well. Can't tell you that one yet, but we're getting closer. I've actually been around the South Carolina program for quite some time, so I wanted to make sure we got there. I just didn't really. I couldn't make it work getting to Columbia, so this was the easiest of all things, because that way we get to Clemson as well.
Right, and of course we'll be down there with our good friends at Ingles Supermarkets, chief sponsor of the Clemson Tigers.
Correct.
So it's going to be a fun little trip with the family there. December the 7th, ACC championship game, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. December 14th, Army Navy.
We are going to the Army-Navy game, and we are taking 4 veterans that have never been to an Army-Navy game with us. We will tell you more about how to qualify for that at the end of this segment, and we will tell you about that game specifically when I come back. But we are going to America's game, Landover, Maryland, FedEx Field, Army-Navy. Of all the dates on this, nobody believes me when I say this. That is the game I'm the most excited about. And in just a minute, that's going to surprise you a lot.
I mean, it is a game that we were told when we went to the Combine that is a media event unlike any other. The Army-Navy game is one of those benchmark things that you need to experience as a broadcaster. So, obviously, we had to put that on the list. Army-Navy game, December the 14th. And then it's coming close, so we're going to go. We've got the playoff games. January the 1st, Atlanta, Georgia, or New Orleans. We'll be at one of them.
We don't know the matchups yet, so it's
right.
If there is a local team that makes way more sense at the Sugar Bowl than at the Peach Bowl, we will go to the Sugar Bowl. I would say it's probably 95% we end up at the Peach in Atlanta.
Peach Bowl or the Sugar Bowl, January 1st.
And then maybe we'll just hang out maybe we'll just move the show to Atlanta for 3 weeks.
And just stay. Because January 20th, college football championship game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Woohoo!
On the list as well. And then January 27th through February 1st, Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl.
One of my favorite weeks out of the year. Not 100% sure we'll have Tank for that one. That might be me and Mullet Senior again. And there's a very specific reason for that. It's a big ask to keep Tank on the road for 2 weeks because the next week, hey Tank, where is Mobile, Alabama? It's like right on the Florida-Alabama tip of. What's that like? I don't know, a couple hours away from. There's a big city.
Louisiana.
There it is. And that's the site of Super Bowl week.
February 2nd through the 9th, Super Bowl week. If you'd have told me 4 years ago that we'd be on the road going to the Super Bowl taking this little project down there, I'd have told you were out of your mind. But it's all happening.
We are hoping that we will be doing the show from Radio Row. Obviously, the portal for credentials and all those things is not open yet, but it was said to me very succinctly at the draft of, we got this.
Yeah. We are going to get as close to the action as we can at all of these stops.
We can't promise you we're going to be in the building for all of them. Like the Super Bowl, let me just, I'm going to shut this down right now because I know 100 people are going to ask me this. The Super Bowl is not on any ticket giveaway. If we get picked in the lottery and we're allowed to go in it, we'll be very happy. Maybe. We also might go, or we could put those tickets back in because we're ready to go home because we've been on the road for 14 days.
Yes, indeed. And then a month after the Super Bowl, it's Combine Week, March 2nd through the 7th, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Then basketball time. March 6th through the 10th, SoCon Tournament, Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. March 13th through the 15th, Spectrum Center in Charlotte, ACC Men's Basketball Tournament. Then we have an NCAA tournament site in Raleigh at PNC Arena. Great place to watch a game. Oh, I can't wait for you to see where the media seats are for that, by the way, Jeremy.
Is it really good or really bad?
Are you afraid of heights?
Oh, God. Yes, I am afraid of heights.
Well, I got some news for you. Anyway.
She's up a ladder, is she, Tank?
It's up there. It's up there. It's at the catwalks. Top of the stadium.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't like heights.
And then, after that, what is it? March 28th through the 30th, State Farm Arena in Atlanta.
That's for the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. The hope is that you would have a Duke or a Carolina that's still punching around there. Obviously, we don't know that yet, but that is tentatively on the schedule. And now, if we have like Baylor and things like that, we reserve the right to go. We gave our seats to some very nice people that they wanted them way more than we did.
So another trip to Atlanta, and then wrapping up the tour next April 21st through the 26th, the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And that is our grand prize of the year. 2 fans, and this is 2 sets. So we will have one winner and their guest, another winner and their guest. Will be going with us to Titletown to the draft in Green Bay with all the good things paid for.
Yes.
And now you ask, how could I possibly win that? Well, we've had things over the years. We've tried Patreon. We've tried all the things. We just didn't have a great payoff. Well, then we saw this and we went, I see an opportunity. So if you have been getting emails from me because you were a previous Patreon member or anything like that, A, I'm sorry that I was working on that at 3 o'clock in the morning and probably scared the heber-jeebers out of you. B, you would probably have seen that our Patreon tiers have changed. We have a $7.77 tier, of which, yes, I did steer into the gambling thing. Sue me. Sorry, I'm a gambler. That is our uncensored tier. So moving forward at the draft, Tank and I did a fireside chat kind of show, and you guys loved it. We had people from all over the country telling us they really enjoyed that. It was uncensored. You were in the room with us. We're going to do those on the road as we take our journeys and our stops. If we're there for a Saturday game and we come in on Friday, we will do them on Friday night. If we come in on Saturday morning and stay for Saturday night, we will do them Saturday night. Those will be completely uncensored. They're behind the paywall. That way, as opposed to, we say the bad words, but we don't really say what we want to. Now we can say anything we want to. You will get pure, unfettered, uncensored access to Tank and I. We also have betting tiers, a fantasy tier, a draft tier, and then there's the all access. All access is $20 a month and that's for all of our draft coverage, and it's the uncensored draft coverage. So if you think maybe I have been too nice over the years, well, that's because we have sponsors, and I have to be real. I can't say exactly what it is I want to say. This year, I can say anything I damn well please because it's a behind a paywall. So the year Justin Fields came out, I could have said, I don't think he would be a starting quarterback in the Arena League. That's your draft coverage. We have betting picks. I will put out 5 betting picks every single day, whether it's baseball, hockey, table tennis. There will be betting picks to use on DraftKings every single day. Fantasy, that is one that we tie all the things together. You get our rankings, you get our weekly fantasy show, all of it to ask your questions that we will answer for your team. And then All Access gets you everything. And for every 100 members of the Patreon we will give away another set of tickets every month for the rest of this year. So if we wind up with 1,000 members of the Patreon, we'll be giving away 10 sets of tickets with us for every trip, or 4 trips that we go on. And that way you can go with us. And if you're a member of that, you get an All Access lanyard. If you make the trip to Knoxville, Tennessee, you can come hang out with us on the mobile tailgate set, which we will unveil not long after I get back. That was a lot of words, and I know that was a lot to take in. I'm going to put that in a nice seeable thing, and we'll put it on the social media so you can understand it better than my yeehaw slang talk.
That is a great idea. The full schedule will be posted on the socials as well. What did you say, 26 dates?
Yes,
and that
26
doesn't even
dates.
Include everything that we're going to hit.
Nope.
With NFL games thrown in there as well. I know that as we mentioned before, we'll have the back-to-back November 30th and December 1st for South Carolina Clemson, and then heading over to Bank of America Stadium for the Bucks and the Panthers game.
Yes.
So we're gonna be doing that more than once throughout the season, and we are happy to be able to bring this to you, and happy that Ingles is helping us live the dream. Living the Dream Tour. More details to come after, the vacation that Jeremy's about to embark on next week. We'll have more details for you when we all reconvene on Tuesday after the Memorial Day holiday. Take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up our reactions from the NFL schedule release, the final division, and we save the best for last for Jeremy. The AFC East next.
This is your Exergent.
And we're clear.
Thank you.
On ESPN Asheville.
Not real excited about widespread rainfall through at least mid-afternoon, but showers become a little bit more likely now. Even into the evening hours, there could be a thunderstorm, 75. Tonight, showers are likely, maybe a thunderstorm, so pack along the rain gear and some patience if you are going to be out. 60 degrees. Saturday, scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, more likely as the day goes on. A weak area of low pressure trying to kick on through. Upper 70s. Sunday, more showers, maybe a thunderstorm, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Juicy Juice.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This month, the team at AirVent Exteriors is excited to celebrate our 40-year history as a small, locally owned company and to applaud all the other locally owned businesses that provide so many benefits to our very own community. We don't just celebrate local companies, we support them by buying our supplies in our own backyard. We source our awning metal from Duncan, our powder coating from Asheville, and our fabric awning material from Anderson. AirVent Exteriors encourages you to support the communities in your backyard and to visit airventexteriors.com.
Xfinity has free premium networks for everyone this month, no matter what kind of entertainment you love. Addicted to true crime? Catch killer cases and more spine-tingling shows on A&E Crime Central. Crave adventure? Explore Asian action movies on Hi-Ya. Searching for something extreme? Check out skating, snowboarding, and more on Fuel TV Plus, the global home of sports. And find crowd.
You there?
iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist.
Do you care what order we go in here?
Nope.
Week. Say free this week into your Xfinity voice remote.
It's the mark.
Okay, let's start with the Jets.
Weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties so that only Capital One card holders can get access.
Yeah, we'll just go in order. Let's go Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Patriots.
Marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer. It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, coming to you live from the Ingles studio and via Mullet Manor. AFC schedule release reactions. The only division we haven't discussed yet is the AFC East, Jeremy Greene. And we'll start with Jets going Jet. The New York Jets added an MVP in this offseason. That's how I'm looking at this thing. I know he was around, but he didn't play last year. And you added MVP to this team, sky's the limit. I don't see – it's hard to foresee how it can go south, and I can't predict that it will.
You could tell me Tyrod Taylor played 16 games here, and I still think the Jets would go 11-6.
That is within the realm of possibility.
I mean, just look at the schedule. So you start with San Francisco. Let's just, for giggles, say they beat San Francisco. You then go Tennessee, New England, Denver, Minnesota, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New England. Where's the loss there? Think about that defense and every one of the offenses I just said. Who's going to be able to score?
Mm-hmm.
This team could legit be 8-0 going into a game with Houston.
Yes,
at worst, I think they're 6-2. Then you catch Houston and go Arizona, Indianapolis into a bye. Now, the back of your schedule, that's less fun. But even with that, I still think they're going to win 11 games.
Mm-hmm. And for me, that's the floor.
You're actually higher on the Jets than I am.
Yeah, I think this is to me, they're more of a 12-13 win team because your defense is that good. What was it? If your offense had averaged 17 points a game last year, you would have won like 13 games.
Something like that, yeah. Oh, and by the way, the defense got better because it got healthier for one. And you added Hassan Reddick.
Mm-hmm. They're still lights out defensively, and offensively they should be better. With a healthy Breece Hall, a better offensive line, and a healthy Aaron Rodgers.
I think this team is really, really good. And Aaron Rodgers isn't the crux. He's almost like a bonus at this point. You went 7-10 against a drastically tougher schedule without him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to get excited. But when I saw the schedule, I went, well, that makes up for a lot of the ills of last year.
You should. You should get excited about it. And, again, the rematch or the replay of Monday Night Football. Heard Greeny talking about that earlier today, and I want to hear your take on his plan for this game.
is he's bringing everybody to his house that was there last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's making them all sit in the same spots. He's doing the superstitious fan thing.
I don't like this plan.
Why would you do that?
Because you're a crazy person.
That could not have gone more horribly. Yet you want to do it again.
I'm going to bring in. I'm going to bring in a young priest, an old priest, a vat of holy water, the blood of the innocent, every Jet jersey of every player that has ever disappointed me, which I'm going to set on fire right before the game starts. Yeah, I'm doing the superstitious fan thing too. I'm just doing it correctly. You keep those people away from your house. Those people aren't allowed at your house anymore.
Exactly. And he said that was his wife's take, and I thought, you need to listen to your wife more, sir. Because you need to invite all new people to the house. No one sits in the same spot. We have nothing like the same food that we had last year. Because I don't want to tempt fate that something like that could happen again. Because it lost you an entire season of your franchise. Now, it did spur, getting Zach Wilson out of town. So maybe that is the good part of it. But you lost a year of Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't want anything associated with how that went down last year.
Nope.
New York Jets, though, to me, far and away the favorite in the AFC East.
I agree with you. I have them winning it by 2 full games.
And that's about where I'm at. Because the second place team, well, they have their own set of problems. And that's the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins need to have another great year from Tua and their receivers, which I don't doubt they will. Hell on wheels with that speed. But you continue to struggle to beat good teams.
That's a big problem. I think the schedule is a big problem. How many wins did you have the Dolphins with?
Oh, let me see here. 10-7.
I have them 9-8. Schedule makers did them no favors. Do you realize who they play once it gets cold?
Yes.
From Thanksgiving on. They play on Thanksgiving in Lambeau in November at 8:20 at night. Mm-hmm. They then get a nice thick week off, but you play the Jets. That's in Miami. Then you go to Houston, San Francisco in your place, at Cleveland, and at the Jets. That's as bad of an end. I heard somebody talking about how Pittsburgh had the toughest end to a schedule they'd ever seen. They don't have the toughest end of the schedule in the NFL this year. It's Miami, and it's not close.
Yep.
I had Miami starting 8-3. They went 1-5 to end the year.
Mm-hmm.
I told you Miami was one of the most interesting teams in the NFL, how the schedule stacked up. And they got annihilated.
3 cold weather road games and 6 straight games against playoff teams to finish out the season.
And the beginning of their schedule is no picnic either.
No.
As you start Jacksonville, Buffalo, those are both at home. Then you go to Seattle, Tennessee in an early Monday night doubleheader, New England, at New England. Mm-hmm. Go into an early bye. It's not too daunting after the bye. And then you catch that gauntlet at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I mean, I could very well see this team going, what's that, 9-2? I think you said 8-3.
I had them 8-3.
9-2. I could go 9-2 on that one, but I'm still going to be. You might sneak a game in the last 5 weeks or 6 weeks,
mm-hmm.
and you might, and that's pushing it because all of those teams are good. You don't do well against good teams.
I have them finishing second in the division, but they missed the playoffs with the tiebreaker. They lose to the Raiders. The Raiders are my last playoff team. Miami ties with Pittsburgh and them, and they lose the tiebreaker and finish 9th in the AFC.
All right, and then the Buffalo Bills.
For you.
Oh, you have the New England Patriots above the Buffalo Bills?
I have them with the same record.
Huh.
I have the Buffalo Bills at 5-12.
Yikes.
Look at that schedule. Tell me who you, honest to God, think they can beat. I'll wait. They won the division last year. They get nothing but division winners. They will get killed in some of these games. Not beat. Not, we lost 27-24. No, I'm talking you're going to beat 38-6 routinely. There is no better bet on the under after I saw the schedule in the AFC than the Buffalo Bills. They're at 10.5, I think. You're smoking crack. They could bring out Andre Reed and Steve Tasker and not win 10 games. In their prime. I don't even know how you do it. Some weird like Thanos thing. You still wouldn't win 10 games. And your defense is going to get deep fried. Hey, who's their number one corner? Oh, yeah, you don't know. You know why? Because their number one corner is Gone. Gone. This team's not good.
Weeks 2 through 6. At Miami on a Thursday night.
Loss.
Jacksonville at home on Monday Night Football.
I'll give it to you because I'm in a good mood.
At Baltimore.
Killed.
At Houston.
Slaughtered.
At the New York Jets.
Annihilated.
Whose cornflakes did you urinate in?
Oh, and if that's not bad enough, you catch a sweet little Tennessee on a short week, mind you. You catch Tennessee, so you get that win. Then you go at Seattle flying cross country. Then you have to come back home for Miami, at Indianapolis, and Kansas City. You get your bye week, and your reward for a bye is the San Francisco 49ers.
And then
at the LA Rams, at the Detroit Lions. And then, hey, once your season's already gone to poop, you get New England twice. You got a jet schedule.
Woo! That is brutal. An absolute brutal schedule for the Buffalo Bills. I believe I said in our initial run-up to all of this, when we didn't know when the games were going to be, that I think Josh Allen, a team with Josh Allen, is capable of a record this bad. Like 5 wins sounds insane to me when you have the second or third best quarterback in the league.
Find me 6 games that you'd be willing to bet $100 on a piece.
I know. Yeah, I can't find them.
I dare you.
I can't find them.
I'll give you Arizona week 1 of the season. I'll give you Jacksonville just because I'm feeling charitable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you Tennessee. And I'll give you the 2 with New England. I got the 5. That I'd bet $1 on you. You've got 10 that I'd bet $1,000 on you to get beat and not cover.
Yeah.
Especially early.
I'm not really sure I've ever seen a road schedule that is this terrible. Their road games are Miami, Baltimore, Houston, New York, Seattle, Indianapolis, Los Angeles Rams, Detroit Lions, New England Patriots.
You could convince me they didn't win a game on the road.
You could.
I mean, because by the end of the year, do you really think they care? Everybody's fired anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's out the door. There's no more McDermott. There's nothing. Stephon Diggs is looking at this schedule going, oh, thank God.
He's sitting back
thank
going,
God I got out of there.
He's sitting there going, you going to learn today. You're going to learn today because this is going to hurt your feelings fast.
He's about to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, if not this year, with the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills are cratering into the earth. Josh Allen is worth a lot of platitude, but not that much with a tough schedule like that.
If it wasn't for Josh Allen, I'd have him 2-15.
Yeah, it is definitely a highway to the danger zone territory for the Buffalo Bills. Now, the New England Patriots, There's no expectation here, so this is not special breaking news spicy. They're not going to be good.
No.
They're going to be picking early next year. And I don't know, hopefully there's a tackle or something they can pick up at the top of the draft.
New England is one of 2 teams in the NFL that is a dog in every single game that they play in this year. And I'll be honest with you, if you told me a team this year went 0-17, it's New England, and it's not even close. Their schedule's evil too. I don't know how, but if you look at the most winnable games on their schedule, they're all on the road. The teams they play at home, Seattle, Miami, Houston, Jacksonville, the Jets, the Rams, the Colts, which is, to me, the only winnable game here, the Chargers, and Buffalo. Buffalo, you might catch a win because they're so over it by the end of the year that they just mail it in with Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, so they ended up with about the exact opposite home schedule as to the Bills' road schedule.
Yes.
And then you look at their road games, and the first 3 road games of the year are in Cincinnati to open the season, blistered, at the New York Jets.
On Thursday Night Football.
On
with a young quarterback
football.
Against that defense.
Yeah. And then at the San Francisco 49ers in week 4. That's evil.
You
New
play
England
Tennessee, you play
is-
Chicago, you play Arizona, and all 3 of them are on the road.
New England's one of my 2-win teams this year.
I had them at 5-12, and I'm not going to lie to you, it wasn't easy. I had them winning some games on the road that are hard to fathom.
Yeah.
I think they're getting better. But New England is living exactly how a bad team should live. You got the quarterback. You don't have the things around him. But next year you go into the draft, you wind up with the number 1 pick, auction it off. Chicago Bears, baby. You give me 3 ones, you give me a player, you give me some mid-round picks, I could rebuild my franchise that way. But it ain't going to be this year. Gerard Mayo walked into a buzzsaw.
Will there be a player like that in next year's draft?
One of the quarterbacks will be. I don't know which one. I mean, I have Quinn Ewers as the one going into next year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you told me Shador was somehow special, would I be shocked? No. Their schedule's awful. It's awful.
Yeah, it is bad. New England Patriots with the new quarterback, with the new era. It doesn't feel like a new era. Of course, we knew it wouldn't, having Gerard Mayo take over. But I need you to start winning some games. But it ain't going to happen this year. That's the problem. Check the social medias at the Sportsocracy. We will have the full schedule of the Livin' the Dream tour posted up. It's going to be an aggressive fall season for us. And, Jeremy, we hope you have the happiest of times on your little sabbatical here through the Memorial Day weekend.
I'm going to come back and look like a full-sized Ingles logo because I'm just going to be red and beautiful.
And happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife.
Thank you. She's a very patient woman that has she's withstood a very aggressive football season that got more aggressive in a way that we did not expect. This year we're much more ahead of these things. We listened to all the things you guys said over the course of the year. It was so obvious that you enjoyed the content when we were on the road. And put it this way, when I get back, it's going to be real obvious when you see me driving down the street. Let's put it that way.
That's right. We will be returning with you on the YouTube stream on Tuesday after the Memorial Day holiday next week. There's some Braves baseball games. There's a little tank vacation day weaved into the schedule. Tuesday and Wednesday next week on ESPN, Asheville, the terrestrial signal, and the iHeart signal. I will have Chris Womack, the news director of News 13, or excuse me, the sports director of News 13, will be in with me to co-host. We'll chop it up for a couple of days and then take a long Memorial Day weekend and then rejoin you, like I said, on Tuesday the 27th. Y'all have a great one, and we will see you then.
Tuesday, July 30th, Orange Peel Events presents Chevelle.
You're clear.
10-4.
That's right. It's real.
Get your tickets now online at
Chevelle's awesome.
orangepeel.net.
I don't know about awesome.
They're awesome. You stop. You stop your shenanigans.
They weren't as good as Trapped.
And none of them are as good as Creed. How about that?
Bangers.
Bangers.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Ford Hendersonville, and we are excited to kick off the
I like
Parks
how you
Promise.
you wove that in there.
This year we'll be
Nice.
celebrating nonprofits throughout West.
What?
Oh, did you not do that? Is that just a happy accident?
And be better for the.
What did I do?
You're not paying any attention.
Doing amazing things.
No. What?
From heart
I can't come out and say it.
Can't
I
wait
was.
to introduce you to our 2024.
Oh.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
There it is.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club is.
Oh,
There it
That
is.
wasn't intentional.
I totally thought you did that on purpose, and I was about to give you a literal standing O.
My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
No, but it is now.
$135 million in
Get the
Winners Club
get the new sponsor in there without saying the name until we physically can. Kudos, sir.
Tired of being overweight and frustrated with diets that never work? You've probably heard all about the new injectables that are
All right,
bringing life-changing
I'm gonna get the.
results for millions.
All right, are we off the stream?
You need to call QC
not yet.
Kinetics today. QC Kinetics weight loss
Do you need us to
protocol
be?
gives you access to these exciting injectables that can deliver remarkable results. The medically trained weight
No, there was something I was going to say, but I don't want to say it on the stream.
Oh, okay. All right, give me like 2.5 minutes.
With
No, you're all good. We can wait till after shows. We can wait till 3 o'clock at least.
Indeed.
QC Kinetics
I'm gonna put up the trailer that I showed you on all the socials.
Okay.
Now to learn more
Tonight.
about this next generation weight loss option that can change your life. Let the trusted medical professionals at QC Kinetics find out if you're a candidate now. Lose the extra pounds once and for all. Call now for your free consultation. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM.
At Ingles, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information,
Hey, are the shirts here?
at 828-774.
They're in the trunk of my car. Why you need one?
Or
Oh yeah, I was gonna take one to a friend of mine.
This is your Exergen temporal scanner.
I mean, I'm at the house if you want to swing by here.
ESPN Asheville.
Not really.
I might. Well, let's see.
At least mid-afternoon, but showers become a little bit more likely.
I got to
now.
get
Even into the
I got to get some laundry done so I have clothes to wear at the beach, or I'm just going to be nude on a non-nude beach.
Some patience if you are going to be out. 60 degrees.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Because I mean, all the clothes I have, I mean, I'm very limited in what I have that still fits because I'm such a fattest.
70s. Sunday, more showers, maybe a thunderstorm, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors.
I'm not
eBay
quite in
Motors is here
my
for the
stage
ride
5
with the
oh
parts you
holy
need at the
crap
prices
factor.
you want. And
Close,
with eBay
but
Guaranteed
I'm in the
Fit, they're
step down from that.
guaranteed
Right.
Time or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This election year, there are so many issues that divide us.
Which candidate will wind up with the task of trying to unite us?
Join us as the future unfolds on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Western North Carolina's election station.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart
Atrial
valve.
fibrillation.
Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9